Seth Turner will kick. Vincent Davis and Jimmy Athens back deep to receive. And Davis will take a knee. It's an empty set for Williams as we get started in West Lafayette. On first down, he throws behind Jay Jones. And in coverage, Tony Grimes, once the top cornerback recruit in the country. Second and long, something Southern Illinois wants to avoid. On the ground, Williams keeps it and is swarmed by this attacking Purdue defense. Mike Shears said this is a defense made to go forward, not stand and read. Showing pressure, third and long. They bring it from the edge. Williams floats and connects. And a 21-yard pickup. Fake it to Davis. Williams up the gut and plows across the 50. A nice gain on first down to the Purdue 49 of 4 yards. The back is Chandler Chapman now alongside Williams. 7 different running backs had multiple carries last week in their win over Thomas More. And that's swatted away by Charles Correa. Another third down. SIU went for 21 on 3rd and 9. The opening drive of the game. Williams guns and has another first down. Stood up just past the marker. Got a bunch formation. They'll throw that way to Lester. And has a seam, cuts upfield, and knocked out of bounds just outside of the 20 by Taj Rael. This is a smooth start for SIU on offense. Approaching the red zone. Lester has the carry, coming off the 18-yard catch. And just knifes his way into the red zone for a pickup of 3. Purdue's defense did not face much adversity against Ball State last week. Tested on the opening drive. Williams on the ground, trying to turn the corner, and just out of bounds. Nearly found the edge for a touchdown.
Jack, going back to a week ago, it was about 3 explosive plays that this defense gave up. And it was plays when Ball State attacked the edges on the perimeter. Secondary defenders not being able to get off of blocks and make tackles. We see that same storyline so far on this first drive.
A point of emphasis from Barry Odom when we spoke to him yesterday. Now 1st and goal. Mike Shear's defense in danger of giving up their first points of the year. And a timeout. Our first of the game called by SIU. In motion, Jones. Williams fakes, goes up the middle for a touchdown. A silencing opening drive for the Salukis. Paul Halen on for the extra point. Now we'll see Purdue's offense for the first time, trying to answer. Michael Jackson deep to receive and returnable for the transfer from Georgia. Stumbling as he crossed the 25. It looked like he had a seam for a moment. It's an opening run for Brown, who pulled in the RPO. Strung out very well by Southern Illinois. And forward progress stops Ryan Brown. Quickly on 2nd down, Devin Mockobee with a nice hole up the middle and brought down a yard shy of the sticks. Devin Mockobee, risen from walk-on to already one of the great running backs in Purdue history. There he is again, and he's got the first down. Yeah, establishing the run, something Purdue didn't do much of last week. Mockobee spins ahead, still not down. 4 straight runs for Purdue to start here after they came out firing in the air against Ball State. Purdue trying to answer Southern Illinois' opening 11-play drive for a touchdown. Second down. Brown in the air for the first time and a long throw. He's got E.J. Horton Jr. just outside of the 40. Showed the arm strength for the first time. Pull it on the RPO. Horton with his second straight catch. And he's brought down by Colin Bohannock. He's the guy that the other linebackers go to with questions before the coaches. That intelligent. Pull it, Brown. Shot over the top. Branch. Incomplete.
Jack, Branch almost came down with that.
He did. He almost pinned it against McClendon. Big third down. Brown facing pressure, whips it towards Mockobee. It's caught, but out of bounds. A flag is thrown, and it's going to be defensive pass interference on Andrew Bain. All over Mockobee coming out of the backfield.
Pass interference. The flag for the defense. Penalty is a first down at the spot of the foul.
And Nick Hill is not happy. A huge play. And here comes Mockobee. Dodgers one. And cut down just inside of the 15. Pull it, Brown. Up the middle for the touchdown. There's something about Armand Branch scoring on the first drive for Purdue. Back-to-back weeks.
To Branch for the touchdown.
A 9-play drive as Spencer Porath knocks it through. Williams to pass, going down the middle and connects with McCray. He's got the sideline. Does he have the speed? McCray wrestled down inside of the 15, and SIU's right back to it.
One thing that Coach Nick Hill talks about for his offense, they are pure progression passing offense, which means the ball is going where the ball is going to go. And Fabian McCray was the target for that. There was a deep over to get the back half of that defensive secondary out of the way, parting the sea for Fabian McCray to take advantage of another explosive play for the Salukis.
63 yards back in the red zone. Pitch to Chandler Chapman. Strung out, 5-yard line, a nice pickup on first down. Last time here, it was a 7-yard run for Williams. He'll keep it again. Quick pitch. Schwendeman is in. The first catch for a tight end from SIU this year is a touchdown.
Junior tight end Ryan Schwendeman does a nice job selling the split zone right here. Bluffs the kick out block, slips past CJ Nunnally, and then the guy who was out with a season-ending injury a year ago gets in the end zone for another score for SIU.
You saw Nick Hill and how fired up he was after that 3-play drive. Now 3 drives, 2 for SIU, 1 for Purdue. 3 touchdowns. Here comes Jackson's second return of the night. A little bit of space up the middle, and Purdue will start just shy of the 25. Looks like the Cowboys and Eagles Thursday night. Here we go, second drive for Purdue, back to Mockobee. 28 yards on the first drive, where Purdue was clearly trying to establish this kind of presence.
But it's a formula that consistently works. Throughout history of football, when you can establish the run game, usually you have success offensively.
Quick tempo. Mockobee once again to the right side. And stood up well. Vinny Pierre Jr., a ball hawk safety, taking a bigger role this year, coming up with a stop, but it is a first down for Purdue. Safety's a strength historically for SIU. Jeremy Chin with the Raiders, P.J. Jules now with the Bengals. Brown looking deep and throwing deep. Streaking is Horton, but too far out of his reach. That was C.J. Parson in coverage.
It's offensive line not protecting. Purdue has to do a better job with the little things.
Pitch to Malachi Thomas, his first carry. A little shifty move to dive across the 40. And the Virginia Tech transfer sets up 3rd and short. Brown space up the middle, very mobile, and picks up the first down. Lost the ball at the end, but it looks like he jumped on top of it. He abused Illinois on the ground last year. That was Ryan Brown's breakout game as the backup to Hudson Card. Mockobee stood up, a gain of 1. Calling plays for the first time since he was at Mizzou 10 years ago. Pitch out of the backfield to Mockobee. And another 3rd and short coming for Purdue on the move. Going to the sideline, back shoulder up in the air, and incomplete. There's a flag. It's in the backfield.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Andrew Bain called for roughing the passer. Another long developing RPO up the middle, open again. Nitro Tuggle with his first career touchdown catch.
If he's a big factor later in the season, not so fast, my friend. 2nd touchdown, Nitro Tuggle shows face.
Four drives and 4 touchdowns. What does SIU have in store this time? Back to the 25. 70% pressure from the Purdue defense last week. Williams and the Salukis have burned them so far. Got a reverse. Jay Jones, 6th-year senior, darts ahead. And a pickup of 5 on first. Arguably Purdue's best pass rusher. Quick flip outside, and maybe just short of the first down. Williams looking to throw, pressure coming down, he goes. Charles Correa with a slam to force 4th. Michael Jackson deep to receive. Has a seam, north to south. Antonio Harris's first carry of the game. Fake it to him, guns it over the middle. Armand Branch. Purdue has been slicing SIU between the hashes so far.
This Purdue offense is just flying on all cylinders.
Both touchdowns, that catch right up the gut. Brown fake it again, looking deep, decides to launch. And a flag is thrown. Branch the target again. Jagger Williams back in coverage. Looks like the flag's on him.
15-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
Sometimes you get afraid of what could be instead of what actually happened.
3 critical penalties by the SIU defense on each drive. And Mockobee is whipped down for another 5-yard gain.
Yes, they had some plays that were left out there, but they've kept that same pace tonight.
Back to Mockobee. And Chris Presto makes the tackle. Purdue unblemished so far. Mockobee with a battering ram type of run just to get a yard. Mike Allstott style. And it is enough for a Purdue first down. Purdue 3 for 3 on 3rd down, trying to go 3 for 3 with touchdowns. Harris wrapped up around the waist. And set up 2nd and long. Purdue's offense near the bottom of the country last year. Looks totally reinvigorated this season with Josh Henson calling plays.
it feels that they are in complete control. As you look up at the clock, almost to the 11-minute mark in the second quarter, they've possessed it for this entire time. So a team that can switch up their tempo, showing you the control and the possessive type that they have to their offense as well.
Something Barry Odom had at UNLV with the top 10 rushing offense. Fake the jet sweep. Brown. They were expecting it. Maybe a gain of 1. And 3rd and goal coming at the 7. Brown looking back shoulders. Smith can't haul it in. That is McClendon again with terrific coverage.
How many times have we already called Jeremiah McClendon's name? The DB hailing from Marshall, FIU, and now the Salukis. I already said it, the elder statesman in the group, but just doing a nice job remaining physical throughout the entirety of the rep. He gets a big-time stop, forcing a field goal attempt from Purdue.
You mentioned he was the old man of the group, ironically the youngest of 14 kids. Now the old man of the Purdue secondary, the SIU secondary. Spencer Porath. Enter DJ Williams. Again, arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the FCS. He'll pull it on the RPO and find Vincent Davis shifty to move towards the 33 and tackled by Charles Correa. They're going to have Vincent Davis in motion all night.
One thing that Coach Hill talked about, 3 FBS wins, as you see on your screen, in the last 6 seasons. Unfortunately got a win against my alma mater, Northwestern, back in 2022, but that just shows you the strength that this team has in all facets.
Bit of a tug there. Williams, timing looked off. Does he have momentum to get the first down? Depends on the spot. Right now, it looks like he's short. And decision time for Nick Hill, just shy of the 35. Under center, Williams plowing forward, and he got 3. Roll of the dice pays off for Nick Hill and SIU.
That's just called complete confidence in your offensive line. Show one thing and then just go back to old school football. Get behind your center, plunge forward for the first down.
Aiden Logan at left guard and Finsky, the center, generated that push. Short pickup on first down from Chandler Chapman. You know, Nick Hill's shown some emotion already tonight. He was furious about something before the snap.
That's a guy that says he's not real rah-rah. I don't know if he left out the part that it's environment specific. So maybe at home with his wife and 3 daughters, but certainly on the football field, he is fiery and passionate.
Coming out of the backfield, more motion for Davis. Curling towards the sideline. Looks like he has enough for the first down. Yeah, hard not to love this start between SIU and Purdue. Second ever meeting. Williams power run up the middle. He hasn't gotten loose on the ground so far tonight. A reminder, 137 yards rushing for him against BYU last year. Catch for Davis. Bit of a stumble. That keeps him short. Play clock running down. And a timeout, the second for SIU here in the first. Third and short. 10th play of the drive. Williams, he did not get there. Empty set. He's going to run it. Has some space. Tackled short. Would have been a 5-yard penalty and a first down. Instead, Purdue back to work with the lead. And Tuggle with the drop. Back to Mockobee. Oh, reliable, nearly sprung free. .64 yards in the first half for Mockobee. Right back to him, and Amir Dwight had a hold of his waist from behind. Brown connects with Jackson, who spins free. Got himself an extra yard. And the former Georgia and USC receiver will set up 3rd and short for the Boilers. Mockobee is stopped in the backfield. The first big defensive play for SIU. So Purdue will go for it 4th and 3. Brown connects. First down. Jesse Watson.
With the middle of the field open like that, there's an understanding from Watson that once you come out of your break, be ready for the football, but also be ready for contact. Was able to withstand that contact for the first down.
Going more tempo and nearly cut off. Purdue fans wanted a flag. Jagger Williams with the undercut. Mockobee handled by Boehm, a short gain. Gain of 2, 3rd and long now for Purdue. Chewing up a lot of clock, though. We're approaching 3 minutes left in the half.
I was just thinking that I wonder if the tactics and strategy from Coach Oldham is to control this clock, maybe get it underneath that 2-minute mark. As you understand, they were the ones that kicked off to begin this game, and the Salukis went on offense. So if you can steal a 2-for-1 with you ending the first half with the possession of the football and start the second half with the possession of the football, your ability to win that game goes up exponentially.
Makes this 3rd down huge. Brown has a lane and sidesteps for the first. And a late flag as well. Looks like a hit out of bounds will give extra yardage. And Ryan Brown is feeling it.
Ryan Brown was named the starter on Thursday, August 21st. And all that you heard from them was how he leads with his voice, and it's the intangibles, and that's what you saw right there on that first down conversion.
Late hit, number 3 of the defense. Penalty if you forced half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Don't do as I say, just do as you watch me go. And here, Ryan Brown fighting for every inch, gets out of bounds and then draws that penalty. As you see, gets out of bounds just at the last second. Unfortunate for Jagger Williams, he got caught as he already launched to go make that tackle. Got caught in the wrong position.
A 4th penalty on this SIU defense. Brown will keep it, fake to Thomas, inside of the 5. Ryan Brown and Devin Mockobee are taking over this game.
It was an intent to start this football game. Coach Oldham says blocking at the point of attack. That's the initial double team or the initial action where that entry point is for the runner. And so far, the offensive line doing a nice job carving up the Salukis defense.
We've reached the 2-minute timeout here. Has scored 10 unanswered. It's a wildcat look for Mockobee. Here he comes. Sidestep. Power. Just short. That was Barry Odom's favorite play from last week against Ball State. A wildcat look from about the same yard line. And the offensive line got great push. Enough push to get him down to the 1 there.
It's not just a push by the offensive line, it's the punch that Mockobee carries when defenders try and tackle him. Only 6 foot 207, but runs like he's 240.
Let's do it again. 3rd and goal. Jackson in motion. Mockobee. Got it. Touchdown. "12 plays, 55 yards. And a 5-minute drive to make it 17 straight for Purdue. 81 seconds to work with for SIU. Purdue getting the ball to start the second half. Feels like they might have to score 30 to 40 points to win tonight. Williams, pressure from behind. A low dart, and it's caught.
It's a nice way to start off the 2-minute drive with an up-tempo offense. The Salukis trying to find some points before the half.
Inside of a minute, 1 timeout for SIU. Clock stops to move the chains inside of 2 minutes. A lot of time for Williams. Outside of the pocket. 0 for 3 their last 3 third downs. They'll throw it. Williams runs it. Oh, he goes parallel. He did have the first down. Clock stops to move the chains with 38. Williams was in danger of running back behind the marker there, but enough to pick it up and keep the drive going.
He actually ran into the referee.
Yeah.
And the referee took most of the hit on that one as he landed on the turf and the grass here at Ross-Ade Stadium.
Clock rolling. Williams looking Jones' way. He's got it. Approaching midfield. And the clock stops, enough for a first down once again. 28 seconds. Jones, a breakout receiving candidate for SIU this year, 6th-year senior. Here comes Williams. Back to the middle, deflected. Receiver was decked from behind by Wakely, but the tip wipes that out, even if it was early. 19 seconds, second down. Williams, pressure coming. Somehow got out of there and still going. Able to scamper out of bounds for some positive yardage and avoid disaster. 11 seconds left. Their kicker, Paul Halen, said he's comfortable from 55 and in. They're down. Low throw is caught. Davis scooped it off the ground. Clock stops with 6 seconds left. 1 timeout for SIU. And a spike. 4 seconds remaining.
The only thing I was going to add on to that review that the fans wanted, they did clock the ball. So once they started a second play, there was no more review.
Wipe it out. Last play of the half for SIU. Or perhaps Jackson Parker able to get out of bounds with 1 second left. So they pick up 2 extra yards.
The game is not yet over.
And now might try the long field goal. 58-yard try. Malachi Thomas deep for Purdue. Halen. Well short. Thomas able to return. End of the half. SIU prepared for it. Snuffs it out. 10-point game at halftime. And Purdue gets it to start the second half. Feels like a must stop for SIU here in the third. Purdue has scored on every drive so far, and it's back to Mockobee. His 17th carry of the night is enough for 10 yards and a first down.
With no signs to show that he is going to slow down.
First pass in the second half. Pressure, and Brown has to throw it away. Performed well against pressure last week against Ball State. Had his touchdown pass to Branch with a man right in his face. Up top, the catch for Burhan. His first of the year and the first for a Purdue tight end.
Burhan, we talked about earlier in the game, had a play last week on a broken one where he dropped an easy one. That one a lot more difficult, but that just shows you being a jack of all trades, a threat down the field in the pass game.
You saw why he was a hurdle state champion at Mount Vernon High School. One punt, now going deep and intercepted. A short pass from Brown, picked off by Vinny Pierre Jr. That's the break SIU was looking for.
It's the first time I really felt like Brown and his receiver weren't on the same page. Brown looked like he was throwing more of a jump ball. The receiver felt different as he continued to push up the field vertically, and that's Armad Branch continuing to run even though his quarterback put it in a spot for him to go get it. Whatever the mistake, it has to go in the book as a missed throw because it results in a turnover. Pierre doing a nice job high pointing the ball, making a play for his Salukis that they needed in the most needed possession of the game.
The first big mistake for Ryan Brown on the season. Keep in mind, SIU, 5 FBS upsets the last 20 years. They've won the turnover battle in all 5 of those games. Jones dodges the initial man, Taj Rael. pickup of 8 yards on first down. +5 in the turnover margin last week, SIU against Thomas More. Williams back to it. He had 31 rushing yards. Pistol formation, man in motion. Fake it to Chapman coming out of the backfield. He's wide open. Chandler Chapman's overthrown. If he's hit in stride, that could have been 6. Point of emphasis for Williams over the offseason, not letting those touch throws float. Did a little bit on him there. A short toss to Aiden Quinn, more known as a blocking tight end, and tackled for a loss. Williams, plenty of time. Space cut down, wrestled down. Paul Halen just outside of his own end zone. Nearly blocked. A fair catch hauled in by Jackson at the 50. And what Devin Mockobee has been doing is pounding forward for 4 to 5 yards a carry. Two carries in a row to start the drive. Sandwich this time. Caden Reeves on the hit for SIU. He talked about how he's slowly but surely climbing this leaderboard. It would take a heck of a season. About 1,200 yards for him on the season to reach Mike Allstott. You talked about how he could have left. I think that's why Drew Brees was so complimentary of him, recently calling him a guy who has represented Purdue better than anybody in the history of the program. Pitch out wide, second catch for a tight end, and Christian Moore brought down just short, and mainly a fullback sets up 3rd and short, transfer from UNLV and K-State.
But Jack, I think it all comes back to the set of criteria that Coach Odom came to Purdue with, the Purdue way, listing out a set of guidelines of how the program is going to be run. Then you hear him talk about getting back to the Coach Tiller ways, scoring points, playing tough defense. It's the right way, somebody that Drew Brees played for in his time here. So it all goes hand in hand for the success of this program.
Excuse me, 4th down now. Purdue going for it. 3 for 3 on 4th down, and Mockobee makes it 4 for 4. First down, Malachi Thomas spells Mockobee at least for a moment. One of 8 running backs to lead the team in rushing 3 straight seasons, and certainly looks like he'll make it 4 in a row to be the first Purdue player to ever do that. Fake it to Thomas. Brown leans ahead for a first down. Running again, and Mockobee is pushed back this time. Noah Freight pushing him back to make it 2nd and 11. Around the edge, Mockobee squirts out of the 1st. SIU swarming. 3rd and long, just outside of the 25. I mean, you hold them to a field goal try here. You have the pick on the first drive. Would be a major adjustment defensively compared to what we saw in the first. Brown looking deep. Plenty of space to his right. Pulls up and overthrows Horton. 44-yard try for Spencer Porath. Up and down freshman season, along a 45 last year. And knocks it off the upright end. Purdue came in with a late walk-on offer after he won a long jump state title with Boonville High School. 8 more carries already than he had all of last week. SIU still down just 2 scores midway through the 3rd. And Williams with a designed run on first down. Tony Grimes is having none of that. In coverage in the stack, Williams goes the opposite way. And another tight catch low to the ground for Vincent Davis III to pick up the first down. Well, Davis in this SIU offense is dramatically slowed down after scoring touchdowns on their opening 2 drives. Empty set. Williams outside of the reach of Parker with some pressure last minute. Davis back in motion. Hand off to Davis. A dance, a shift. Flag flies in late. Rael pushes out of bounds. Let's see what the call is. After just 3 last week.
Foul. Illegal low block. Number 28 of the offense. 15-yard penalty. Still second down.
Second and a mile. Williams floats, catch for Mario. Third and 20. Got a stunt with Lindsey coming hot. Williams outside of the pocket. Flip it back across the field. Chapman was open, but overshot him. Flag thrown, Halen boots it away, and a fair catch for Jackson at the 30.
Still waiting to hear word about what the call is down on the field.
Illegal formation. 43 of the receiving team covered the center. The penalty is declined. Be first and 10 Purdue.
The prime issue right now for SIU is not the penalties, it's stopping Devin Mockobee. Got to the 40, or did he? Looks like he's a half yard short. Wildcat, third and short. Mockobee, the star tonight, going backwards on the sled to the 45. Former Northwestern lineman getting a shout out for all 5 starters. First down. And flip outside, Malachi Thomas. Bounced off the first tackle and run out of bounds inside of the 45. Snap from Braden Joyner to Brown. Pull on the RPO. Burhan with his second catch. And George Burhan, a potential breakout star, replacing Max Clare at tight end. Approaching the red zone. And Thomas wrestled down by Andrew Boehm. Now, if SIU gets a stop here to force a field goal, it'll still be a 2-score game, down by 16. Second down, Brown, Burhan. Now Purdue's leading receiver with his 3rd catch over 40 yards with an 8-yard pickup. Third and short from the 15. Brown faked the pitch. Power ahead. And enough for a first down. Mockobee trying to go off tackle and spun down. At 10 minutes of possession in that 3rd quarter, and SIU just seems a little helpless against the run right now. Mockobee staying on his feet. Army crawling inside the 10. Brown will throw this time. One hitch. Got an angle. Does he have the speed? You bet. The same corner he scored on the ground last week.
Yeah, that's a tight shot. They ruled that his toe was out of bounds, and they're going to have to clear shot that it's in. It's very tight. You're not sure if it hits on the white, but you don't see.
After reviewing the play, the runner stepped out of bounds at the 2-yard line with the ball at the 1-yard line. The ruling is upheld.
Wildcat again for Mockobee. Here he comes. This time, a loss of 1 running almost to the hash mark to get a timeout.
First time out of the half. Purdue.
Right back to Mockobee for the direct snap. Up the gut. Touchdown. Edward Robinson in the backfield with Williams. RPO, dancing, a sideways chuck. Robinson picks it off the ground. Did make the catch. He probably shouldn't have. It's for a loss. SIU's got to have it. Under 11 to go, down by 20. 3rd and 1. Williams chased with Lindsay pressuring. Rael near. Chuck it down the sideline. And the intended target was Parker. There is a flag.
After the play, personal foul. Late hit, 58 of the defense. 15-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
And a first down catch.
Personal foul, roughing the passer for 5 of the defense. High hit to the quarterback. 15 yards added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
Inside of the 35. Williams, time, floats. Davis comes back for it. But out of bounds.
Second down.
Davis sweeping ahead, has a seam, breaks a tackle, dodges outside, inside of the 20. Longest run by SIU tonight. First down. And Williams inaccurate low, looking for Davis once again. It's an empty backfield for Williams, 2nd and long. Met immediately. That was C.J. Nunnally who got there first. Play clock running down and a timeout. BC and Michigan State locked up late. SIU, any hope of a comeback? Gotta get this. 3rd and 16. Williams dragged down. 2 in a row for Nunnally. SIU will give it a shot with Kalen. Plenty of leg, and he's got it. 53 yards, a career long for the versatile specialist. Jaheim Merriweather deep to receive. SIU, their first point since the first quarter, but still a long way to go. What a brisk fall night, early September. Feels like we're going to get a heavy dose of Devin Mockobee, even more so, to close out this game. 30th carry there for Mockobee tonight. Number 31 has a first down for Purdue. Career high in rushing attempts. 4-yard pickup gives him the first down. Mockobee out of the game. Thomas with another carry. It's his 4th of the night. Held to 11 yards so far.
When I first saw him, it got a little quiet because you don't see Mockobee and think workhorse, but then you watch it and the tape says something different.
Off his fingertips, able to re-corral. Making defenders miss all over the place. And a hand in the face as he goes out of bounds, adding insult to injury. 17-yard reception. Josh Henson looking very calm. Said he likes to be up there in the box to remove his emotions from the game. Mike Shear said the opposite. He wants to be emotional down the sideline on the defensive side. Mockobee again.
All I saw was center Braden Joyner land on top of someone and a little bit of extracurricular after the fact. And no defender is ever going to be okay with that, and that explains the bit of scrum we saw.
Clock approaching 4 minutes. Thomas tackled by Shug Walker at the 35. And a first down again for Purdue. Thomas brought down by Ventrell Chazet in the backfield. A couple of top 10 teams, USC rising quick, wide open. Jackson had Pater, nothing else out in front of him. Reminder, it's his first year as a starting quarterback. A couple of starts last year, but first year is the guy. Antonio Harris could be a guy for Purdue in the future. Inside of the 25, first down, clock running to 2 minutes. The early days of Purdue, an odd statistic that Barry Odom will now sit atop of. Antonio Harris with the carry on first down inside of the 2-minute timeout. Tackle by Pierre Jr. The thing is, he did it at UNLV. Yes, it's not in the Big Ten. On third down, Brown will keep it. Leans ahead, takes a hit. About a yard shy. Fourth down to put this game officially on ice. And they won't get it. SIU takes over with a little bit of time left, a late positive. Something to coach up for Barry Odom. And Josh Henson, a carry from Christian Moore. Again, he was a fullback and has passed at UNLV and K-State. Andrew Boehm, the tackle. Here's Lem Wash with the carry for SIU. Also give credit to Mike Shear. Another handoff to Wash, approaching the 30-second mark. SIU will hit the road once again next week at UT Martin, while Purdue welcomes USC in their Big Ten opener. Going up the sideline, spun out of bounds with 20 seconds, 3 straight touches for Lem Wash. Edward Robinson. One final carry for Robinson. And that's going to do it. Purdue moves to 2-0.